Namaskar. I'm Aparna Sharma, New Delhi, India. And today I'm delighted to present my paper, which is titled as a Vedic approach to health, nutrition, and emotional well-being in the modern world. My paper, which is on conscious living, a Vedic approach to health, nutrition, and emotional balance in the modern world. The research emerges from a very simple yet profound question. Despite remarkable advances in medicine and psychology, why are stress, burnout, emotional imbalance, and lifestyle disorders continue to rise? This question is inspired me to explore whether ancient Vedic principles of conscious living can meaningfully contribute to modern mental well being through a structured and measurable intervention. So, every day we become more connected through technology, yet many people feel increasingly disconnected from themselves. This paradox led me to ask one simple question. Are we treating stress, or are we forgetting how to live consciously? This question became the foundation of my research. Modern life offers unprecedented convenience, yet it also presents unprecedented psychological challenges. Long working hours, irregular sleep patterns, digital dependence, processed diet, and constant cognitive stimulation have contributed to chronic stress and emotional fatigue. Most contemporary interventions tend to address these concerns in isolation. Nutrition programs focus on food, mental health intervention focus on symptoms, and fitness programs focus on physical activity. However, human well-being is far more interconnected. Vedic wisdom proposes the health emerges from harmony between body, mind, behavior, and awareness. This holistic perspective formed the foundation of the present study. Although mindfulness, yoga, lifestyle, medicine have received increasing scientific attention, structured research integrating multiple Vedic lifestyle components within a single intervention remains relatively limited. This study, therefore, aimed to examine whether a 6 week conscious living interventions integrating dinacharya, sattvic nutrition, pranayama, manas shuddhi could improve perceived stress and emotional well-being. The broader objective was to explore whether indigenous health models can complement contemporary psychological practices through evidence-informed approaches. This is a conceptual framework of this research is built upon the Vedic health model. Rather than viewing health merely as the absence of disease, Vedic psychology understands well-being as the dynamic harmony between Sharira or the body, Manas or the mind, Achara or behavior, and Chaitanya or conscious awareness. These principles were translated into four practical components, which is Dincharya, which regulates daily rhythm, Ahara, emphasizing mindfulness and sattvic nutrition, Pranayama, for breath regulation, and Manas Shuddhi, promoting emotional awareness and inner reflection. Together, these practices influence psychological process such as stress regulation, emotional awareness, and lifestyle discipline, ultimately leading to improved well-being outcomes. The methodology, a mixed method research design was adopted to capture both measurable and experiential outcomes. 40 adults between the age of 18 to 55 voluntarily participated in the study. Participants represented different educational and professional backgrounds and were selected because this age range typically experienced diverse stresses, including academic demands, occupational pressures, and family responsibilities. The perceived stress was measured using the validated perceived stress scale before and after the intervention. Participants also maintained reflective journals and brief daily logs, allowing the study to explore not only whether the change occurred, but also how participants experienced that change. Let me tell you, the age group that we have is from 18 to 30 years is 16 members. 31 to 45 is 13 members, participants. And 46 to 50 years is 11 participants. The intervention extended over 6 weeks and consisted of 4 interconnected practices. The first was Dincharya, encouraging participants to establish regular sleep, waking time, meal time, and structured daily routines aligned with natural rhythm. The second component focused on ahara, promoting freshly prepared sattvic food, mindful eating habits, and reducing processed and stimulant rich foods. The third element involved daily pranayama practices supporting autonomic regulation and emotional balance through conscious breathing. Finally, the participants engaged in Manas Shuddhi through guided emotional observation, reflective journaling, and non judgmental self awareness. Importantly, these practices were adapted according to participants' age groups, making the intervention practical and applicable across different stages of adulthood. Now, if you see this, the findings demonstrated encouraging outcomes. Quantitatively, participants showed a reduction in perceived stress following the 6 week intervention, indicating greater confidence in managing daily stresses and improved emotional regulation. Qualitative reflections complemented these findings. Participants consistently described increased emotional awareness, greater stability in daily routine, improved mindfulness during eating, enhanced mental clarity, and a stronger sense of inner calm. Taken together, these findings suggest that consciously living practices may positively influence both psychological functioning and everyday lifestyle behaviors. So these are it. We can also see the limitations. These limitations do not diminish the significance of the findings. Rather, they identify important directions for future research and strengthen the case for larger empirical investigations into indigenous models of health and well-being. Additionally, the absence of control or comparison group limits the ability to contribute observed changes exclusively to the intervention. The discussions. The finding reinforce an important insight. Well-being is not created through isolated practices, but through the interaction of multiple lifestyle dimensions. Routine supports nutrition. Nutrition influences emotional regulation. Breath regulates physiological responses, and self-awareness helps individuals respond rather than react to life's challenges. One of the major strengths of this research lies in demonstrating how these elements operate synergically. Rather than treating stress after it appears, the intervention emphasizes cultivating resilience through daily conscious living. This supports indigenous psychological perspectives that understands well-being as a process of maintaining harmony rather than simply reducing symptoms. As the study was exploratory, several opportunities remain for future research. Longer intervention periods of 8 to 12 weeks may help determine sustained behavioral changes. Future studies should include larger and more diverse population, randomized control designs, or additional physiological and psychological outcome measures. There is also a considerable scope to adapt this model within educational settings, corporate wellness initiatives, and preventive public health programs. The significance of this study extends beyond its immediate findings. Theoretically, it contributes to the emerging discourse on indigenous psychology by offering an integrative framework grounded in Vedic knowledge and methodologically. It demonstrates that traditional well being practices can be systematically evaluated using contemporary research methods. Practically, the intervention is low cost, culturally adaptable, and easily implementable in educational institutions, workplaces, and community well being programs. Although, uh, in conclusion, this research demonstrates that conscious living rooted in Vedic wisdom represents more than a collection of wellness practices. It offers an integrative psychological framework that reconnects body, mind, behavior, and awareness through intentional daily living. The findings suggest that indigenous knowledge systems continue to hold significant relevance in addressing contemporary mental health challenges when examined through rigorous research and methodologies. Rather than viewing ancient wisdom and modern science as separate tradition, this study proposes that they can work together to create more holistic, culturally responsive, and sustainable approaches to health and well being. And I would like to conclude with a thoughtful thought that reflects the essence of this research, which is conscious living is not merely a lifestyle, it is the practice of restoring harmony between mind, body, behavior, and awareness. Thank you so much for your kind attention. I look forward to your questions and discussions. Thank you.